Yeah, hi there. These comments are for S, and I am Michael, and I'm going to listen. I'm actually going to read your integrated writing practice test on socialism. All right, so let's take a look at it. I have on the left the reading passage along with the listening script to the lecture, right? So we can kind of compare information. So let's take a look at your introduction. So you say the author in the reading passage claims you say that the benefits of socialism, it almost looks like you're using that as a noun clause. So I would just say discusses, maybe like this, then you don't have that problem. So the reading passage discusses the benefits of socialism, but the speaker in the lecture refutes, don't need to worry about the preposition here, refutes each of these points. It's very simple, but good. Your introduction is exactly what you're trying to do. You're stating the main point of the reading and the listening passage. Easy. We can move on. You say first, in the reading passage, the author claims that socialism has more justice because everyone has sufficient food and money. Okay, and the reading passage does say that. You say this justice occurs. You might want to say, I would say because, not for, because individuals and families they transfer their rights, maybe, and we can say obligations to the state. That's it, you're done. So we're going to the lecture now. Now let me go to the first point in the lecture. We can kind of compare ideas here. So you say, in contrast, the speaker disagrees that socialism fosters and here it says that it actually creates injustice. So when you say disagrees, to show the disagreement is what the speaker disagrees with is that socialism fosters justice. Right? That's what the speaker disagrees with. So that implies the speaker believes that socialism fosters injustice, which is kind of the point of the lecture here. So you say even everyone has sufficient food and money. We have here so maybe put here even though. Okay, let's keep going here. So you say, even though everyone has sufficient food and money, the individuals and families, you might say, if you look at what it's saying here in the lecture part, it's saying that it destroys true liberty. Because the freedom to decide, it destroys the freedom to do all these things, right? So then for what you said, I'll probably say something like this. Let me see if we can figure this out. So you're not exactly getting what is being said in the lecture. That's part of the issue. So let's see if we can figure this out. So socialism about limiting the freedoms for, you might say, even though everyone has sufficient food and money, socialism limiting the freedoms for individuals and families, then you might say this. And I think that's probably good enough. So I think we have our second paragraph here. So first, in the reading passage, the author claims that socialism has more justice because everyone has sufficient food and money. This justice occurs because individuals and families transfer their rights and obligations to the state. In contrast, the speaker disagrees that socialism fosters justice. Even though everyone has sufficient food and money, socialism, limiting the freedoms for individuals and families to choose for themselves, destroys true liberty. Maybe you say something like this at the end. Okay, now ready to take a look at the next paragraph. All right, let's take a look at your final paragraph. So you say, and let's go back to the reading. We can check. So finally, the writer in the reading passage contends that socialism encourages relativism in the sense that there are no exact right and wrong ways, maybe, to define behaviors. Maybe make this plural. Define behaviors. You want to make it really concise. How about this? Societal behaviors. Then you don't even have to use that prepositional phrase. So the definition of marriage should not be limited to being between a man and a woman. The speaker, however, believes relativism, which is promoted by socialism, goes against many of the beliefs. And let's look at the lecture here, make sure we're on the right track here. And here it's talking about Christians, Buddhists, Jews, Muslims, right? So you can just say religious beliefs, and that kind of covers all these different groups. So that's what you said, so that's good. I like how you're concise. So the speaker, however, believes relativism, which is promoted by socialism, goes against many, you might say here, many of the, make it into an adjective, religious beliefs in society. At last, the speaker claims that relativism will eventually lead to the demise of religion, families, and society. Yes. So it was the second point, reading point 2, listening point 2. That's the one you had more trouble with, right? But overall, I think for the most part you have, I think, the idea. You know what you're trying to do here. So let's go ahead and do a spell check quickly so it's okay here. Let's read it one more time. The author in the reading passage discusses the benefits of socialism, but the speaker in the lecture refutes each of these points. First, in the reading passage, the author claims that socialism has more justice because everyone has sufficient food and money. This justice occurs because individuals and families transfer their rights and obligations to the state. In contrast, the speaker disagrees that socialism fosters justice. Even though everyone has sufficient food and money, socialism, limiting the freedoms for individuals and families to choose for themselves, destroys true liberty, the speaker argues. Second, the author states that socialism encourages exact fairness in society by eliminating wage disparities among workers. For example, if some workers earn higher wages than others, the author argues socialism will charge higher taxes on higher income earners and then redistribute that tax to support those who are poor. On the other hand, the speaker says this type of income distribution equality is extreme because it will affect the companies because they are marked as taking advantage of their employees. In addition, socialism, the speaker argues, is extreme because it forces these companies to pay a fixed salary rather than hourly wages. Finally, the writer in the reading passage contends that socialism encourages relativism in the sense that there are no exact right and wrong ways to define societal behavior. So, the definition of marriage should not be limited to being between a man and a woman. The speaker, however, believes relativism, which is promoted by socialism, and I like how you did that. I love this adjective clause here. And it's a voice marker even. I like it. It's connecting it back to what was said in the reading passage. It goes against many, you might say here, many religious beliefs in society. At last, the speaker claims that relativism will eventually lead to the demise of religion, families, and society. We got it. Now let's go back to what you said. We'll kind of compare. You can kind of see some of the changes I made. Okay, here's what you wrote. Right? So I had to make some changes. So you're 245. And then my changes here. So 276. So it's a little bit. I deleted some of what you said. I added a few ideas. Now the question is, what is your score, right? That's what we got to figure out now. So let's go into the syllabus for a quick second. So TOEFL 6 winter 2017. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go to page 9 here. So notice in the syllabus writing rubrics here. Okay, so overall, I think you're in pretty good shape. I think it'd be tough to get a 4. You misrepresented some information from the reading. You left out some important points from the lecture. I'm going to put you in the 3 areas. So I'm going to put you here about 3.2, 3.25 out of 5, 21 points out of 30 on this particular practice test. Now, if we go into the syllabus, so you got a 3.25. What does that do? That's going to put you 79% on this assignment. So overall, I think you made some progress over the last couple of practice tests that we did. You're still sometimes having some difficulties trying to catch the main point of either the reading or the lecture, but you did a pretty good job expressing your ideas on this. So thank you for completing this assignment.